What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Random Movie Reviews. This is a new segment we've been doing where you guys comment a letter of the alphabet, and whichever letter gets the most likes, I go to a resale DVD store near me, and I purchase a movie that begins with that letter. The letter on last week's episode with the most likes was the letter V, commented by Krabby Daddy. I'm sure you guys liked that comment because you just wanted to hear me say his name. So with the letter V in mind, I head over to my local Disc Replay, which is a resale store that sells movies, video games, and all kinds of stuff, and I looked for the section that had movies beginning with the letter V. It was a small section, but as I was scanning, there was one film that caught my eye called VFW, starring Stephen Lang. I liked the art on the film, and I remember liking Stephen Lang from Don't Breathe, so I bought it, took it home, and got ready to watch. Luckily for me, I just went to the theater yesterday, so I had some authentic movie theater popcorn bagged up and ready to go. I threw it in my Indianapolis Colts popcorn bucket. Yeah, I still hate them. And I went downstairs and unpacked the movie and got ready to watch, praying that it was just a little bit better than the film that we watched last week, because that one was painful and I really don't want to have to go through that again. So here we go. Sit down, let's push play, and hope for the best. So VFW is about a group of veterans that are drinking at a bar called the VFW. Their fairly normal night is quickly interrupted when a random teen runs into the bar with a bag of stolen drugs. The teen is followed to the bar by a gang of drug-addicted psycho hippies. In a desperate attempt to get their drugs back, those psycho hippies break into the bar, and what started as a pretty typical night for these veterans turns into an all-out war for survival. This movie's insane. I had a lot of fun with this one. The thing that made this film so enjoyable is it knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to be the next Oscar winner, it's just trying to have a good time. This is a super gory, claustrophobic, low-budget film that takes the audience on a hell of a ride. Even though this film is obviously low budget, the aesthetic looked very nice. I'm a sucker for lots of color and neon light in a film, and the way this movie uses red and blue inside of the bar and kind of gives off that nighttime dive bar aesthetic was really well done. Stephen Lang is also really good in the film. He's very good at playing the grumpy old man that has a hardened past that by the end of the film softens up a little bit and does something for other people. And this film is no different. He plays that same kind of character and he does it really well. The film is not super serious. You can tell that it's having a good time. Within the first 60 seconds of this movie, somebody gets a sword through their forehead. It's kind of a low-budget slasher that has a ton of over-the-top gore that is specifically there to make the audience laugh. The worst part of the movie for me is probably the villains in the film. They're these drug lords that are super over the top, and they don't have that much of a backstory, but again, this film knows exactly what it is, and those characters are just there to get brutally murdered at some point. Also, the movie does take a little bit long to get going, but once that teen breaks into the bar and things start happening, it becomes much more engaging. The best way that I can describe this movie is it's essentially the last 30 minutes of Shaun of the Dead. If you've ever seen that movie, they all basically get stuck in a bar at the end and all these zombies come in and try to kill them. It's essentially this movie, except instead of zombies, they're basically drug-addicted psychos, although they kind of make them look like zombies in this movie. Apparently this new drug in the movie like messes you up horribly and will make you do anything you can to get your hands on it. Whatever, it's silly, but it works in the film. I will say the last 15 minutes of this movie freaking rule. There's this epic standoff that happens in the bar and everybody has different weapons and it turns into an all-out brawl. It's freaking nuts, but it's so much fun. See, this is what this series is supposed to be all about. Going to a movie store, buying a random movie you've never heard of, watching it, and finding a diamond in the rough. And while this movie is no diamond, it's still a gem that I could see myself watching every once in a while. So now it's time to decide, does this movie go on the shelf or in the trash? And you guessed it, we're going to throw it on the shelf. And that's going to do it for episode 2. Make sure you guys are commenting down below a letter of the alphabet, and whichever letter gets the most likes, we're going to watch a movie that begins with that letter next week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next review.